Rigama bama bama gari sani dani gari. Rigama mama ga sa. Ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga ma pa ni ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga ma pa ni sa da ni da pa ma ni ma da sa ga pa ma pa ga sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga ma pa ni ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga ma pa ni sa da ni da pa ma ri ma da na da ni sa ma pa da ni ga ma pa ga sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma.
Well, hi, Varijashree. Welcome to DC Conversations, and thanks for talking to us.
Absolutely. My pleasure. Nice meeting you, Rashmi.
Tell us about this upcoming album, Vaari Live Sessions. Why did you call it live?
Yeah. So in 2024, May, my first original music album was released on Ground Up Music, which is a USA based audio label. And that project is very, very special. And it means a lot to me because I have expanded as an artist in many ways and many directions through that project. And that got released, and it features few of the most incredible musicians from Bangalore and from around the world, um, plus from amazing friends that I'm fortunate to have, including Michael Leake from Snarky Puppy, who produced the music on this album. He's the arranger, and he's the person who designed the entire sonic scape of this album. And another incredible friend from Bangalore, Pramath Kiran, you might know him. He's a fantastic multi percussionist from our town, from our state, and the name that is known in India, right, for his multidisciplinary projects and all of that. So yeah, so this is the core team, and this project came out beautifully well, and it's a labor of love. And since when the idea began, it took us about 7 years until its fruition, until when it got released. And we started performing this music live in a concert format, and that required us to bring it down to a six-piece band because there are over 30 artists playing on the original record, and it's not easy to take those many people on the road, and it has to have a live format. So that is where this live idea began, and we really loved the sounding so much that during one of my tours uh, in the last year, um, I planned out a recording, session, which will also be filmed.
Wow.
With this setup, which brings the entire sound and the soul of. We selected 7 songs, because the album has 12 songs. So we selected 7 songs, which were reduced to this live piece, live setup. And we just rented this beautiful place in Bangalore called Shibravi, and had this multi-camera and audio setup, and performed live, which
Amazing.
turned out to be so beautiful that we even the label was very excited about how it's turned out, and it went on to be its own individual entity as an album. And that's what is coming out. It's purely the energy and the joy that we share performing this music from Vaari album in the format of the live setup, and we call it Vaari the Live Sessions now.
What is it that inspired your unique blend of Carnatic music with global genres?
So I would say that Carnatic music is my foundational discipline of training, right? So it is pretty much my alphabet. And it is, the sarigama padani, swaras, or tala system, or all the fundamentals that are taught in the Carnatic format of classical music is what has been helping me in understanding any kind of music or even appreciating it. And then later, if I want to, since I have always been a very curious learner, I have always wanted to try singing things that are not part of the traditional Carnatic repertoire,
Mm.
something that's out of the raga system or out of the system of being bound to a raga inside a composition, or the system of harmonies and multiple melodies going together as layers and things like that. So that's always been very exciting and uh, something that's fascinated me. So I have, even as a child, I have been experimenting and trying different things out with the help of this system of music that I have been training in for more than 30 years now. Both my parents are musicians. So I was very, very lucky to be introduced to my mother tongue. This system has been my guiding light in many ways, in understanding, appreciating, and decoding and applying. That's the order that I see this in. you know um I think appreciating, understanding, decoding, and then applying. Yeah. So that's how it's been for me. So transcribing notations and understanding a different culture of music and its fundamentals, and how the melody is moving or the time signatures and all of that. So that's been my exercise, which is still active today, and it is still the same thing that is guiding me even to this day. And I think that is what is going to remain to be in my entire journey of learning. So Carnatic music is not just a very specific term for me. It's part of my being, and it's something that's been helping me expand my brain, and be open to possibilities, which is where the meeting of the two worlds, any two worlds, comes for me.
You also worked with, Grammy-winning bassist Michael League on your live album. What was the experience like?
Michael League is one of the most phenomenal beings that I have ever met. This is not just with respect to his musical capacity or sensibilities, but even as a person, like he's a dear friend, like I told you. And it's been a joy to interact with him, to share thoughts, to learn how he approaches music as a listener, as a musician, as a performer, and as a composer and an arranger. So this entire project, the previous album, of course, Vari, that's where our journey began, as part of a project together. So that entire process has been so fulfilling, and it's a joy for both of us, for Michael and for me and for Pramath, who is also equally aware of many cultures of music, to come together in one room and try to bring the juice out of everything that is available musically from different cultures, to bring together and put it in one packet. So Michael, as a musician, and his energy and curiosity and excitement that he carries, to know more, to absorb, to kind of soak in all that the world has to offer with respect to the various cultures of music, is very inspiring. And it's not surprising that this is a quality that I see in most of the uh, legendary artists and visionaries that we have today in the world of music. It is that curiosity, that you carry, that will always keep that spark alive. So it's a long journey. There is so much more to do. So it's been a joy working with Michael, and his interest about other, for example, Carnatic music or Hindustani or whatever it is in other traditional styles of music. His interest is baffling, and I carry the same kind of curiosity. So it's we meet there.
Tell us about this innovative Carnatic scat singing technique. I hope I got the pronunciation right.
Yeah. So basically, the term scat in the world of jazz music is something that is very unique because of the kind of singing a singer does, which involves improvisation and also non lyrical singing. There is no lyrics, but the singer is playing the role of an instrumentalist, essentially. If I'm singing something like a take five or something, if it's you know, so these are the positions of the notes that I'm singing, but every singer in the jazz fraternity would choose different syllables, be it bebop or they can use anything. So I am not trained in it, but that style of vocalizing, that style of exploring that space of music using absolutely gibberish syllables that collectively might not have a meaning, but then they are essentially emulating the sound of some particular instrument that they are imagining in their head, you know. So that kind of a singing, like when you when a singer imagines say a trumpet or a saxophone or something, and Ella Fitzgerald will imagine the the dialogue that that instrument would make when a solo happens. You know, singing like that, which are basically melodic lines, but they're weaving a story without the usage of any words.
Yeah.
So that concept is called scatting. If you read about it, it's like non-lyrical singing and singing gibberish and playing the role of a voice instrumentalist. That really captivated my interest, and I'm like, what kind of singing in this is this? And then there was a point where I was like, hey, there is also a form of improvisation in Indian classical music, in Hindustani or in Carnatic, which is we do swarakalpana, swaraprastara, or alapana, where there are no syllables. Or sometimes we are singing sargam, which is the sarigama padani in the swaraprastara. So that kind of was like a spark in my mind. Like, this is improvisation, but we are using the solfege. So I started implementing this format into that format. But there were few new things, which is composition in jazz might not necessarily adhere to one raga at all times. It might change ragas, it might change pitches or shrutis. So that was another level or layer of discovery for me as a singer. So I would sing a take five like this. Pasagama pa mamaga pa ni sa ri sa ni sa ni pa ma pa. Pasagama pa mamaga pa ni sa ni pa ma pa ri sa ni sa. You know? Sada sada ma pa da da di 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 pa ga ma pa da sa da ma. So these melodic lines, I'm kind of relating to them with respect to the tonic or the home pitch that I am finding in this composition, which might also be written sometime. So yeah, that's how this all began.
What's been the most memorable experience for you? You've performed live globally, so what's been the standout moment kind of thing for you?
There are many. It's very difficult to single out one experience, but to put it in a nutshell, I would say just the fact that I have had the opportunity of, let alone meeting, but performing with few of my heroes that I have looked up to for so many years.
Mm.
Um, be it Victor Wooten or Bobby McFerrin, John McLaughlin, or in recent times, Herbie Hancock. So there have been many angels also in my life who have observed my madness with respect to the musical exploration and have led me into beautiful paths. And in that journey, I have had opportunities of meeting these people who genuinely appreciated uh, my efforts and experiments and whatever I'm trying to explore with the human voice, and with the background of training that I come from south of India, from Carnatic music, you
Mm,
know. So I would say that is the most fulfilling aspect of this entire
journey.
journey.
Yeah.
Most of them have reached out to me on online. Maybe they watched a video of mine on YouTube. Like Victor Wooten reached out to me in that manner. So he watched this video where I'm singing Coltrane solo of Giant Steps using the Indian sargam. So the world has been so kind and has shown me so many things about the human side of the artist, where everybody, most of the people who are really living for the sake of art, are observing very intently, um, and able to understand where there is some interesting content, or content of music, I mean.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they don't hold back when they want to appreciate or say that, hey, this is good, so I have been a very lucky recipient of such encouragement, and this has led me to meeting so many people. I worked with Victor and later with Bobby McFerrin, who I got connected by Victor Wooten. And I met a few more incredible legendary artists. And recently also had the opportunity of performing as part of the International Jazz Day with Herbie Hancock, curated by him in Abu Dhabi. So I sang the same Coltrane's Giant Steps there. So I would say it's all in all, it's a beautiful journey and culmination of good things that I will remember for a long time.
So
Mm.
heartening to hear when, artists actually support artists. That's really good. And also appreciate.
Absolutely. Like
Yeah,
like a dear friend keeps telling me, has told me once, but I remember that almost every day, is that the only way to grow is together. Mm.
right. Right.
And I see this philosophy being followed by almost all of the people who are up there, who have made it, who have found their zen and their meeting point with the art. So it's about the community, it's about being together, it's about being there for each other,
Yeah.
and celebrating art.
So
Yeah.
what are your upcoming projects and collaborations? Who are you collaborating with next?
Well, apart from the live sessions album that's coming out on June 20th, um, the plan is to also take the project on road sometime, starting end of this year and then the next year in different places of the world. Hopefully, we are working on it. And I'm also a part of few other very interesting projects that have been ongoing. One includes an opera. It's a contemporary, European contemporary classical format project named Mahabharata. So it's written by an Italian composer named Riccardo Nova. He lives in Milan. And he has written this opera which is around the story of Mahabharata. And he has picked excerpts and scenes from that
Mm,
and parts from the Bhagavad Gita and things like that. So the entire project is in Sanskrit. But this gentleman is one of the most incredible composers that I have met, who has been living with the Indian culture for more than 3 decades. So he's been visiting India, learning the traditional styles of music here, and Sanskrit, and the Vedas, and all of that. So he's brought those two worlds of his together into this amazing production, and I'm one of the featured artists as part of this project, which is also performing and being presented in Italy, in like end of this month actually. So after
congratulations.
that, I have a concert tour with another French jazz trio that I collaborate with named EYM Trio. So we are performing at a few festivals in France. So that's what is coming up.
I mean, congratulations on that. And yeah, could you sing a few lines from your Vari?
Oh
I was
yeah,
actually watching Jatra. It really, you know,
Jatre, one of the tunes from the album, which is non-lyrical, very voice instrumental,
yeah.
because it's woven around this beautiful Carnatic raga called Hemavati. See, this is the beauty of it. So, along with all of these things that are happening, there is so much pride that I have in my heart because these are all things that are from my music culture.
Yes.
That transcend boundaries, and there are people from completely different classical musical backgrounds that are adding into this, and then we are presenting a new sound, you know. So yeah, Jatre is one such composition. I would love to sing a few lines of it. రిగమపమా పమగరి సనిదని గరి రిగమమగసా ma ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga sa ga ma pa ni ma ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ga sa ga ma pa ni sa da ni da pa ma ni ma da sa ga pa ma pa ga sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma ga sa ga ga sa ga ma ga sa ga ma pa ni ma ga sa ga ga sa ga ga sa ga pa ni sa da ni da pa ma ri ma da na da ni sa ma pa da ni ga ma pa ga sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma da sa ri ga ma.
So I just have one last question. So you said your
Mhm.
parents were also musicians, and
Mhm.
you were also there. So I just want to know, like, what do your parents think? Like, because now you said, somebody contacted you from your YouTube video. The person saw you sing on YouTube. Do you think the presence of these digital platforms, which didn't exist then, actually opened
Mhm.
up avenues for artists now, that it is a good thing that was missing earlier? What do your parents take on this? I mean, you must have discussed this with them, right?
Absolutely. I must say that both my parents, my father, he's a very senior guru. He's a Carnatic flautist. His name is H.S. Venugopal, and my mother, Rama Venugopal, is a singer. Both of them teach very actively. They strongly practice Carnatic music. You know, that's what they're practicing and teaching. And for them, my journey is new every day because I am also constantly exploring. It's wonderful to see that they are also learning with me, you know. And it's not usual to have that kind of a progressive thinking family in every case, because whatever it is, when you come from a background of any kind of a traditional format of music, there is a lot of I would not say conservatism, but I would say respect attached around it,
Mm,
because everybody practicing that format will do everything to protect the form and the chastity of the how that music is supposed to be presented and all of that.
yeah.
So at one point in time, let's say about 20 years ago, when I had started actively expanding myself, it was a bit of a confusing phase for my parents as well, because they were like, what's happening, you know. And I was also not in a position to give them any answers, because I was in a quest of something that I am still, carrying. I'm
Yeah.
still searching for something, I'm still looking for new things. So that is a never ending process. But after a few years, when I think they also understood that I'm trying to find my own voice, but in a different way.
Yeah.
And the addition of the presence of internet and the things that it has to offer is very evident and is appreciated and is acknowledged by people of my generation, and of course of my parents generation. Communication, and the world has become smaller, and everybody is their own publisher today. You know, you can publish your art, you can
Yeah.
have a channel on YouTube or whatever platform it is, and you can present yourself much
True.
easily than how you would be able to 20 years ago. It has definitely been a great boon if utilized in the right ways, you know, that sometimes most of the stuff gets lost because there is so much. It's just that the excessive availability of things today on the internet is the bane, where you can't very easily go, you can't bump into something very easily, like in a cassette or a CD store.
Yeah, yeah. True,
It's
true.
like 100 million X amount
Yeah,
of information that's available out there. So while that happens, I think independent artists like me and many of us here kind of find it a little hard to be heard, to be noticed, because in any part of the world, I think it is it's a similar status, that whatever is popular music in that region gets the most amount of notice. Or sometimes it's people don't even have to notice, it is there available everywhere. That is what is appearing on ads or on radio or on all platforms. So
yeah,
in that aspect, independent music or independent art content, uh, like people like us, we have to really work hard to even put stuff out there.
yeah,
And my parents also understand this, and they have been of great support, though they know that this is not an easy field to survive in and it takes a lot of effort.
yeah.
So they are constantly learning with me, and never, they're being there.
Thank you so much, Varijashree. It was so lovely talking to you.
When we have conversations like this, it's an opportunity for me to go back and reminisce some of the memories from making something, and then arriving at the present to see, okay, this is how far we've come.
Thank
Nice
you
talking
so
to you.
much.